Hello and thanks for joining us for our daily press review on CRTV News with me, Gladys Asugwana. We begin at the National Assembly where a Koju Parliament reports that the defense of budget proposals for the 2025 fiscal year has officially kicked off. Starting Monday, December 2, members of government led by the Minister of Finance, Louis Paul Motazei, began presenting their budget plans before the Finance and Budget Committee, chaired by Honorable Mutimbo Rosette Julien Ayayi. Now, this process will eventually culminate in a plenary discussion and the much anticipated vote on the finance law for 2025. On the other hand, Municipal Update reports that Prime Minister Joseph Dion Gute recently outlined the government's strategic development priorities for 2025 before members of parliament, from ensuring security ahead of the upcoming presidential election to boosting cocoa production and tackling energy deficits. The roadmap aims to address both local and global challenges, as you will see in today's edition of Municipal Updates. With these ambitious plans, the government has proposed a 2025 budget or draft budget of over 7,000 billion CFA francs, as reported by the Sun newspaper. As the paper stipulates, this marks a slight increase of 0.5% from last year's budget, with the special appropriation accounts totaling 66.9 billion CFA francs. A balanced budget indeed as aimed at fueling Cameroon's growth in the coming year, as noted by the Sun newspaper on page 2. But how effectively will this budget be managed? That is the big question raised today by the lone bilingual daily Cameroon Tribune. Now, despite repeated warnings from the Minister of Public Contracts, some contractors remain undeterred by penalties. However, the paper notes that the situation is gradually improving as the government ramps up efforts to enforce best practices in public contracts. Grab today's Cameroon Tribune for more and other stories that the paper has covered. Meanwhile, a major development project is on the horizon. The Dawn newspaper mentions that a commercial contract worth over 113 billion CFA francs has been signed between the Ministry of Public Works and the Italian company Atti Bonisa for the rehabilitation of the Bekoko-Limbe-Idina Road. The project, set to begin in January 2025, will also cover the Mutengene Junction to Mile 17 in Boya and the rail access to Tiko Port, an important lifeline for the southwest region. No more on the Dawn's newspaper. Now, while roads are being constructed or rehabilitated, maritime trade is booming in the country. La Voix des Entreprises reveals that Cameroon's maritime trade continues to flourish, with the National Port Authority reporting nearly 27 million tons of cargo handled in 2023. To know more about this impressive figure that underscores the critical role of ports in driving the country's economic growth, get today's copy of La Voix des Entreprises. And finally, a story of local impact from Womb in the Northwest region. The Guardian Post highlights the Lomnam social group, which has applauded the development strides of Womb's mayor, Digambong Anthony. His leadership continues to transform the Menchum division, drawing praise from far and near. And that's a wrap for today's newspaper overview on CRTV News. You might want to grab a copy of any of the newspapers that caught your attention at any newsstand in the country. And I have been Gladys Asu, wishing you a lovely day in our company. Stay with us.